recent developments in space travel, going to Mars is probably not that far away in our future, so we thought it'd be kind of fun to take a look at what going to Mars looks like. So Josiah, would you ever go to Mars?
I've thought about it a lot, and I love the idea of going to Mars, but I don't love the idea of dying on Mars. So, no, I don't really want to go to Mars, except for maybe vacation.
Yeah, I think there's something really cool about being the first pioneer or whatever. As I started doing research for this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, I should do something real with my life. I should go to Mars and die there forever.
I mean, people were going to America a long time ago, but that's not another planet.
Mars is the new America.
Millions and millions of miles away from everyone I ever knew. I don't want to die alone.
So with that happy thought, let's take a look at what it would take to go to Mars.
I understand how this might be difficult for you, but you're not the only one who suffers from self-esteem. So tell me, what's holding you back? You think you don't have enough money to make it to Mars? I understand that $600 to $500 billion is a lot of money, but sometimes it helps to think of the smaller picture. You don't think you're strong enough? Well, to be honest, there's no rocket strong enough yet to make it to Mars with supplies and astronauts on board, but that won't hurt focusing on a little self-improvement. It's very thoughtful of you to think of the crew, but you can't always put other people first. It's not your responsibility to worry about whether or not the crew is healthy or suffering from radiation poisoning or bone degradation. It's time to start thinking about you. You've really got to do something about your agoraphobia. Yes, Mars is vast, and yes, the dust is finer than it is here on Earth, and it can really clog up your insides, but you really need to trust those NASA scientists and that they have the best in mind for you. It's not your fault. 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 It's not your fault.
At this very moment, in the cubicle of Larry Jones, poor Larry sat there, dreaming of his life that could have been, outside of being an office drone. As a child, young Larry dreamt of the stars and, eventually, going on to Mars. Larry thought of that life, training as an astronaut, spending years locked in an enclosed room, making sure his mind never went to doom and gloom. Larry imagined being the strongest man in the galaxy, for he knew peak physical health was the only way to survive 9 months in zero gravity. Before Larry would ever see space, with his own 2 eyes, he would need to help launch rovers towards the skies. He watched through satellites abound, the rovers putting their robotic wheels on the red ground. They'd use their metallic claws and arms to prepare the surface for human charms. Larry watched as the living modules were launched towards the stars, like moths to a flame. They'd follow the rover's signals to find their way to Mars. Together, living modules and rovers, hand in hand, they'd prepared the Martian world to house Larry on the red sand. Rovers fed living units a healthy supply of Martian dirt, extracting water to make oxygen so Larry would not get hurt. The year would be 2018, the year imaginary Larry dreamt of as a teen, a date carefully picked because of the lack of solar flares, keeping Larry safe from radiation poisoning in his rocket ship chair. With living units already in place, oxygen and water already stored, Larry could begin his life as a pioneer that everyone on Earth would surely remember as the greatest volunteer. And for just that moment, in the pocket of his imagination, he had made a difference worthy of a standing ovation.
Have you ever wondered if you could go to Mars? Well, we're gonna find out with a little game of Would You Rather. What we've done is taken the 5 key characteristics from the Mars One candidate profile, and we've got Josiah here to find out if he could go to Mars. Now, we encourage you to play at home, answer the questions truthfully, and at the end, we'll see if you could go to Mars! Would you rather run a mile after not eating for a week, or eat a burrito every hour on the hour for the rest of your life?
Burrito. Gonna go with burrito. Burritos are delicious.
You are not going to Mars! Part of the key characteristics of the Mars profile is that they want resiliency. And the first one would be resilient. The second is indulgent. I'm sorry. You're not going to Mars. Maybe because we got more questions! Your second would you rather question is, would you rather chaperone a bunch of 8-year-olds at Disneyland or live in It's a Small World for the rest of your life?
In the first instance, I really hate children. In the second, that song's really annoying. Since one, I assume, probably lasts only a day, 8-year-olds at Disneyland.
Ding, 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 you did it, you're going to Mars! So what we're looking for is adaptability, and the first option is adaptable. You got to adapt to all of those 8-year-olds. So congratulations, you're 1 for 2 and 1 step closer to going to Mars. Let's find out with our third question how you do. So, Josiah, would you rather be Hitler's therapist or Hitler's girlfriend?
Gonna say Hitler's therapist.
Okay, walk me through it.
See, if I was his girlfriend, I'd spend a lot more time with him.
What kind of time?
A little Hitler time. Otherwise, I just have to listen to his problems, and I can just listen to his problems.
All right, so you're going with Hitler's therapist?
Hitler's therapist.
The first option requires you to be curious, whereas the second option is just really weird. So you did it, you got 2 for 3, you're well on your way to go to Mars, doing great. Let's find out with our fourth question. Would you rather? Now, would you rather go rock climbing with Michael J. Fox or watch your house burn down in front of your eyes?
I mean, that first one, it's a little shaky. I don't know. Like, my life's on the line. And the second one, I mean, I'm still alive. I don't have anything, but I have my life. So, gonna go with burning my house down in front of my eyes.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We were looking for the first option, rock climbing with Michael J. Fox, because going to Mars requires you to be able to trust your teammates no matter what. So now you've lost your house and maybe the chance to go to Mars. You're 2 for 4, 50-50. It comes down to this very important last question. Josiah, would you rather disarm a bomb with only a vacuum cleaner or get waterboarded by Jack Bauer?
Vacuum cleaner. Gonna disarm a bomb with a vacuum cleaner. Cause Jack Bauer is ruthless. Yes! Yes, I'm going to Mars! I'm going to Mars!
Part of what they look for is resourcefulness, and so being able to disarm a bomb with a vacuum cleaner is resourceful. So, 3 out of 5, you did it, you're going to Mars, pack your bags. So how did you do at home? Did you get at least 3 for 5? Over 50%? Because if you did, guess what? Pack your bags because you're going to Mars!
Yes! I hope you learned something about mankind's journey to Mars.
And that's been your most important thing. So don't forget to check out our last episode on earthquakes.
And also check out On the Plus Side with Monique Miro.
And subscribe for more videos just like this.